Level 5. In Level 5, we're going to be creating the code that floats your character left and right. We're going to be still working under player controls. So in the last video, I showed you how to make the player go up when you click up. So now we're going to be working in these two codes, decreasing the x velocity when the user clicks left and increasing the x velocity when the user clicks right. So if you notice, this says change the velocity. So that's why we did not use a counter pattern, because we're not increasing it, we're changing it. These two say increase and decrease, so we're going to be using a similar code to how we made the player fall. We want to give it the effect of floating and not just changing its velocity. So when you want it to appear that it's floating or speeding up or slowing down, that's when you would use the counter pattern as opposed to just the velocity block. So it says, add a conditional that decreases the sprite's x velocity when the left arrow is pressed. We are going to use a conditional in the same way because we are looking to see if the keys are pressed on the keyboard. So I'm going back into control, dragging the if statement, going into the world. I'm going to check if a key is down. This time I'm looking if the left key is down. And remember, we are going left, so that is x, and that is a negative number because the numbers decrease. So I'm going to be using a counter pattern with the x velocity. So I need my x velocity. I need a subtraction symbol. I need the velocity again because I am decreasing, we need x. I am decreasing the x velocity. And we are going to decrease it. Let's try 1 and see how that works. It might be too fast or too slow, but we need to test it first, right? So let's keep our player up. And oh, he's going very fast to the left, so let's decrease that. Let's try 0.5 and see if that works a little better. We do want to control the player. He's still going very fast. So let's make that a little smaller. Okay, I think that's more manageable. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing, but for the right. And since we are increasing the velocity of the x axis, then we are going to increase that number. So we're going to use this same exact code, except for a positive. So again, we're using an if statement. And we're checking if key down, right. And then we are going to increase the player's x velocity. We do need an addition symbol this time. And we are still working with the x velocity. And then I'm going to use this same number so that he reacts the same going to the left as he does going to the right. So let's test this out. He's falling quite quickly. If that is too challenging, we can always adjust the speed of his falling, right? So we can go back up here, and this is where he's falling. We can adjust that. So let's see if that helps. Okay. If you think he's jumping too high, we could change that number as well. Okay, I think that's more manageable. Keeps him on the screen a little more. Okay, so as you can see, creating a game is all about trial and error and testing and seeing what's comfortable for you, but also for others. You don't want to make a game too challenging either, right? Okay. So we've done all of this. We've done our left and right. We used the counter pattern and the velocity x block, and we tested our code to make sure it works, and we made some changes to make the game more manageable and more playable.